Well, welcome to this episode of the Willingdon on Mission podcast. My name is John. I'm one of the pastors at Willingdon. Today, I have the opportunity to sit with Jim and Rita Cunningham, some of our missionaries. Jim and Rita, welcome here.
Thank you, John. It's a privilege, and we thank you for the opportunity of talking to the Willingdon folks.
So this is, let me just introduce this series. This is a series of 4 short episodes where we'll get an opportunity each week to get to know Jim and Rita a little bit better. And so for this first episode, could you just introduce yourselves to us?
Okay. All right. Rita and I met in 1965 back in Toronto. Rita was in nurses training and I was teaching elementary school. And after we met, I had the leading of the Lord to go to seminary for 3 years. She graduated, came to seminary, and we were married in 1967. And she became the house mother to 9 children, our first year of marriage.
Salvation Army Children's Village.
Yeah. So we were there for a year. And then after graduation, joined Christian Service Brigade, and we took our first airline flight as a couple to Sault Ste. Marie in 1968 on our way to Vancouver to be the Western Canadian representative for Christian Service Brigade. And in those days, we were called Missionaries to British Columbia. And that's how we came in 68.
Our friends felt insulted by that, by the way.
Especially the ones in Vancouver.
Yeah.
We don't need missionaries.
Yeah.
At that time, I was 25 and Rita was 24, and we served with them for 10 years. That's where we met a number of folks from Willingdon, like George Jansen as my area chairman. We met George Foltz and others who were at Willingdon when I was working with Christian Service Brigade. And that was until 78. And in 78, we moved back for studies. We went to Jerusalem in 79. Mm-hmm. And that was our, if you can believe this, we were 36 and 35 before we ever took an international flight, unlike many today. and then after graduation, returned to Langley, and we've been here in Langley since 1982. So that's been our travel history to get to where we've been at Willingdon for near 30 years now.
Yeah.
And that's been God's grace that has kept us going. Do we give ages at this point, John?
No, but tell us when you got married. You got married on July 1st,
1967. Yeah.
What else happened on that day? It's kind of
something else happened that day.
Yeah, it was Canada Day. And it was my birthday as well.
It was Rita's birthday.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's a 3-in-1 day that we were celebrating together. So,
and 100th anniversary for Canada, of course.
Yeah. So that's where we've been here now for all these years. We, after Trinity, worked with Wycliffe, and we'll talk more about that later on in another podcast, what we're doing right now. But that's a little background. We've lived here with our kids and now our 6 grandkids, and we've been blessed by the Lord with good health and mobility and the resources and the memory to navigate the airports, because we've probably been in about, I think it's over 50 countries in that time period since the first flight. So we've been able to go train trainers, teach teachers, and disciple adult educators. And Rita's been involved in a number of trauma healing sessions with me and gone with me on many of these trips. So
wonderful. Good. Well, I'd say that that's a great first introduction. And now at least we know when to celebrate your birthday, Rita, and your anniversary. And
well, John, not to be left out, April 11th, and after they view this first one, is my birthday.
Okay. Perfect. Not to be left out. Good. Well, thanks for this glimpse. Those of you who are watching or listening, stay tuned for next week. We're going to dive a little bit more into what have been some of the ministry engagements that these guys have done and are doing these days. So God bless you all. Thanks, Jim and Rita.
Thanks.
Thank you.
God bless.